Welcome back to the Big Leagues Podcast, episode 12. We got a UFC 296 preview today. Colby Covington versus Leon Edwards. We'll kick right off with the main event. Leon Edwards is minus 160. Colby Covington plus 130. Isaac, who do you like in this fight?
Well, I'm gonna ride with my boy Colby. Big Colby fan here, and I just think that Colby's pace and just his tenacity, and he's very good at taking damage. He's never finished, even though he did get finished by Usman in the 5th round, but he doesn't really count that as a finish. But I think Colby's gonna come out. I think he's a better wrestler than Leon, and I think I'd probably say 4th round TKO for Colby would be my official.
Really? A Colby finish, okay. So, logically, I really want to pick Edwards. He's 3 years younger than Colby. Colby's 35, getting up there in age. Hasn't fought in almost 2 years, and it's been in those 2 wars with Usman. And Leon in his last 2 fights against Usman, the first one with the crazy head kick, that was at elevation, and he spoke about how that really hurt his gas tank and hurt his performance. Then he comes back and beats Usman. It was close, but he looked good. His takedown defense was really good, and his striking, he was just too quick, too fast, too good at striking. I think his striking's a lot better than Colby's. And just the way he was defending takedowns against Usman, if Colby can't get him down like that, I think he's in trouble. But I don't know, I just feel like even though logically I want to pick Edwards, I just feel like Covington might get this win. I don't know. Call me crazy. Almost like when it was O'Malley versus Sterling, and I was like, no, Sterling's gonna win, 100% guarantee, blah blah blah. And then O'Malley just gets it done. I don't know. Colby might get this done, but I don't see a finish. I think it would be a decision.
By decision.
If he does.
Yeah, I never like picking, people fighting the champ for decision, because I always feel like if it's a close fight, they'll always lean champion. So
Yeah.
I feel like if Colby, if he found some wrestling early, maybe tired out Leon in the later rounds, he was hurting Usman, in their fights with some of the shots he was landing. If he wears him out early and then hits him with some power, I feel like he could maybe get a late round finish. I could see that for Colby, but I think Leon's going to have a tough time, finishing Colby as well, because Usman really couldn't finish Colby. And I think Colby's got a really good chin. I think
he's super tough.
More power than Leon, even though Leon did knock him out. But I really just think if it depends if Leon can, land clean shots and, hurt Colby early. But I think as the fight goes on, Colby has a better chance to win the later it goes.
Yeah, I mean, Colby's got insane cardio. As long as we're talking about the same Colby that we've been seeing at that level, I think the path for victory for him is to say 2 out of 5 rounds, to have some success with the wrestling and keep Leon down and win those 2 rounds, and then win 1 out of 3 rounds on the feet. Maybe I think that's a good path to victory for him. Would you say Colby's the A side in this fight?
I mean, I think he's definitely. I think he's a bigger draw than Leon, to be honest. I think just the way he talks and all his antics, I think he's kind of like a wannabe McGregor. But I think I'd say he's more popular and more well known than Leon. What about you?
Yeah, it seemed I think it's definitely debatable, but I'd say Colby probably is the A side. It's just I feel like we don't see that too often.
Yeah.
I mean, recently O'Malley versus Sterling is kind of one example off the top of my head, but I feel like it is pretty rare for us to get the contender as the A side.
And I don't know, with this fight, I think it's just gonna, I don't know. I think it's gonna come down to who can just do more damage early and then kind of just ride the momentum in the later rounds, because Colby hasn't really fought in 2 years. So if he gets hurt early, I think he could have I think that could be, a good night for him. If he gets hit with some big power shots in the 1st or 2nd round, I think he'd have a ton to keep going.
Another thing to keep in mind is that Donald Trump says he's going to be in the building, and Colby said he can't lose with Donald Trump in the building. So there's going to be extra motivation for Colby to get that done. But
it's going to be funny seeing the press conferences with, Ian Machado, Gary, and Colby, like all these boys there at the press conference.
Patty.
Gonna be and Patty. It's gonna be comedy.
Yeah. We'll get to a few more of the fights, and then we can talk about some of the press conference antics, because I think this was going to be a big time press conference.
Yeah.
So in the co-main event, we got Alexandre Pantoja versus Brandon Royval. Pantoja minus 175, Brandon Royval plus 150. Pantoja just claimed the belt off Moreno in like a really good fight, bloodbath, good display of striking and jiu-jitsu. Royval is also really well-rounded. He's got good striking, good jiu-jitsu. These guys have actually fought before, and Pantoja got a round 2 submission. Who do you think wins it this time around in the rematch?
I think Pantoja's going to win. Like you said, he's already beat Royval, and he just had an impressive win against Moreno. And I think Moreno's better than Royval, to be honest. And
yeah.
So that being said, I think Pantoja. I could see him winning by submission again. I could see him finishing him, but I definitely lean Pantoja in this one.
Yeah, Royval does have good jiu-jitsu, but I think Pantoja's jiu-jitsu is better. And like, there's kind of a saying that Teddy Atlas always says, so that like once you become the champ, you get, I think it's like 30% better or something. And I just think that like Pantoja, after winning that belt, like he went on this big like emotional story about like his father like left him, and he's from like a small town Brazil. He won the belt, had like a parade in his hometown city, going around like saying, "Oh, like we won the bet, like we won." And I just think that he's gonna be super motivated in this fight to keep that belt. And now that he knows he's the champion, he's gonna have a big increase in his mindset. And yeah, I think he wins. I don't know if I necessarily like him like by knockout, submission, or decision. Like I think all three are honestly out of play for me. I think he gets the win.
I do too. And like you're saying, he does have like a lot of momentum, because you saw how much it meant like winning the title for him. So, and beating Moreno, who's the top guy for a while. And honestly, I think when you come into a fight and you've already lost an opponent, like it sits in your head. Like it's got to sit in your head a little. So
and it's got to give, on the other side, it's got to give confidence to Pantoja.
To pick someone who's already lost to the opponent they're facing. So that's, with all that said, and everything's kind of just going in Pantoja's favor for him to get this win. So that's kind of why I'm thinking him for this one.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. Next, we got young up-and-comer Shavkat Rakhmonov. He's 17-0. It's all by finish. Just like an absolute beast prospect who's making a lot of noise, like on his way to the title. He faces Stephen Thompson, longtime veteran, elite kickboxer. Shavkat Rakhmonov is minus 725 as a huge favorite against Thompson at plus 475. Who do you got in this one?
Tough one, but I'll take Shavkat by a domination over Wonder Boy. I mean, I don't think it's gonna be too close. I could see him finish him, just mauling him in the first round. I don't really think Wonder Boy has a chance here. I think he's kind of just a sacrificial lamb that Dana served up to Shavkat. So I definitely think Shavkat's gonna win. I don't think it'll be close either.
Yeah, I mean one prop that I think is some of the best value on this card. I mentioned he's a minus 725 favorite. On Bet365 right now, for him to win by finish is minus 175, and he's won all his fights by finish. He's a dominant grappler, and Wonder Boy's not quite as good in the feet. We've seen him lose to grapplers before.
Yeah.
So I think Shavkat gets him down and just either puts a whooping on him or gets a rear naked choke or something along those lines. And also to win in round 1 is plus 200 too.
I'm surprised the value's that good on that, to be honest.
Yeah.
I could definitely, if I had to pick a round, I'd probably say round 1 finish. So the fact that minus 725 turns into minus 125 and plus 200, that is good value.
It's great value, yeah. And also, like, Wonder Boy's 40 years old, so like, I mean, he's been holding on, but like, who knows? That chin could go any day. Like, so I think if Rakhmonov can like lay some heavy shots on him too, he's so old that
dominated, do you think he might hang him up after this?
Tough to say. I mean, I think he's still got gas in the tank, even at 40. But
I don't like like his meaningful fights are kind of over. Like he'll never challenge for a belt or anything like that. So
yeah, I don't know why. Like this fight makes no sense for him. I don't know. Like I think they should like I don't think he's winning a title anytime. I don't think he's ever gonna win a title. So there's no point to put him in there against a freaking beast like Shavkat. I think they should have just had him as a headliner on a fight night and a random fight night and put him up against a striker and give us an entertaining fight as
like
opposed to just setting him up to be slaughtered.
yeah, true. Well, maybe he just wanted. Maybe it will be his last fight, and he wanted to go out on like a big card and just kind of
Yeah,
have a moment with the fans, I guess, or something like that. Could see
yeah.
that. Next
Um,
fight. Oh,
another big fight. Lots of star power on this one. We got UFC legend Tony Ferguson facing Paddy Pimblett, two big stars. They like to yap. Tony Ferguson's plus 250. Paddy Pimblett's minus 310. Tony Ferguson's 39 years old, and he's lost his last however many fights, like
6 months.
six.
Yeah.
That being said, though, he's lost all his fights. He lost were to like killers:
Yeah,
Gaethje, Oliveira, Dariush, Chandler, Diaz, and Bobby Green. Like all those guys are a lot better than Paddy, I would say.
definitely.
Especially the first four. Like those are all like top five lightweights.
You
So
can't him like those are just the best around, and he's aging. So, but
yeah, it makes
I
sense.
I think I honestly think that I'm not a big fan of Patty, so I'd love to see Tony win, but I think it's still gonna be tough. I think Patty's gonna try to wrestle him, try to look for submission, but Tony's been training with David Goggins, so I mean,
I
he's
love to see that. That fired me up at first, but like I don't know. The issue with Tony is not that like it's not his cardio and it's not that he's a dog. It's just that he's like old. So that doesn't really change much.
yeah,
Um, yeah. I don't know. It's like this is a winnable. I think this is a winnable fight for Tony. It just depends like how much he has left in the tank. Like I seen a
well,
video the other day, um, of him like his like entrance to the ring, like when he first started in the UFC versus now, and like he just can't move the same way. I think his body's like broken down.
well,
But like
he
Tony Ferguson just never fucking quits, man. Like he's just a beast. So
and he's looked good at some of the start of his losses. Like he's looked good at the start of the fight, and he's kind of just as the fight went on, just lost it all, and just got he's fighting really good guys too, so that
yeah,
helped. But I feel like if he was gonna win a fight, like this could be the fight he might win. But I definitely lean Patty. I mean, I think Patty's pretty good, and I
do you think
definitely
do you think Patty finishes or you think it goes distance?
I'd say Patty wins by submission if I had to give like a prediction. I think he's gonna look for that, but I'd love to see Tony win, but I don't really know. Maybe I don't know how. I don't think Tony would win by decision either. So I
Yeah,
think I think he'd have to finish him, to be honest.
I think if you put a gun to my head, I'd probably say Patty by decision. Um, Tony's just took so much freaking damage too. Like that Gaethje fight, he just got lit up, and then like Chandler just head kicked his head right off his body. I hate to see it. I'd love to like I could see Tony getting some like catching him in like a triangle or just some crazy submission or something, but I also don't think Patty's gonna finish Tony. I don't know if Patty's really got that like power because Tony's a tough motherfucker.
We're yet to.
Unless he's just got that much CTE that like it doesn't matter. But
I don't think Patty has the power to like drop him on the feet and finish him. Like we
yeah,
haven't seen it from him yet, so that'd be shocking to me. But I'd love to see Tony, somehow eke out a win and retire like on a
yeah,
with a two. I feel like that because I think it'll be his last. I think this is his last fight, to be honest. Like
it yeah. I think win or lose, I think it has to be like
yeah,
it should be. I hope it is.
when he fights again, Dana should just like not let him fight for his sake, man. Like you don't
Yeah,
fight. You've already established your legacy and everything. Like no one wants to see you get whooped again.
yeah. It's a tough watch for sure.
Yeah.
Um, like how far do you think Pat? Like there's no way they'd rank him after this, is there?
I mean,
No way.
like if they glaze him, they might, but he doesn't deserve to be ranked. Like beating Tony ain't like it's nothing like crazy to add to his resume. Like it's maybe
Yeah.
10 years ago, but
Yeah. I just
I
think like that's part of the reason why they're making this fight is to feed him Tony, who's like a big name that like all the
yeah,
casuals would know. And then like Patty beat Tony Ferguson, but they don't actually know that Tony Ferguson's
they will. I
not
think
the same guy.
he wins. Like I just kind of feel like that's how the UFC rolls. Is
Yeah.
they give like preferential treatment to the big names, the guys that sell fights, and Patty's, he's a pretty big name. A lot of people know him, so I think he probably would be ranked if he won
Yeah.
this. If he wanted a convincing like first round submission, definitely I think he'd be ranked. But I don't know if it's earned.
Yeah. He could sneak in like I got the rankings here, like he'd obviously not sniff anywhere near the top 10 there. Even the top 12, I think there's like no chance in hell that he could eclipse them uh with honestly probably ever. But
Yeah.
those like bottom three, because like Bobby Green,
What ranks?
I think it was, or maybe it was 3 fights ago, but like he fought like he was the last person to beat
Yeah.
Tony Ferguson. So I
What
don't know.
rank? Like 13,
Bobby Green's at 14.
14? I mean, well, he shouldn't be above Bobby Green, so I think
No,
that
probably not.
maybe who's ranked 15.
Drew Dober. I mean, it's not like I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if he got ranked, like if he
Yeah.
was slotted in at 15 if he got like a big win.
Yeah,
But I don't know. I don't see him being like a future champ ever, like a lot of people seem to think.
definitely not. No. Last fight of the main card is another like this is actually a pretty
It's a
every
stacked card.
actually like a good fight, like a not like a even fight, but like notable names, real good card here. Ian
Yeah.
Machado. Are you a big fan of Mr.
Um,
Gary?
I coming like his first couple of fights that I saw, I like put down a little dough on him. He's a undefeated Irish fighter. I had to,
Yeah.
I was invested in the story, but I don't know. He's been running his mouth a lot recently, and he's just kind of weird. I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of the guy, to be honest. I don't hate him. A lot of people like hate
I
him
mean,
now, but
I,
I don't know.
I'm
I think he's a bit of a clown.
I'm kind of one of them people. I just think he's just trying to be like Conor McGregor. Like
Yeah.
it's too obvious at this point. Like he just talks wild. Like, and I just don't like a lot of the stuff he does and the way he talks, man. Like I'd love to see him. I'd love to see him lose. I mean, I don't think he will lose this fight. I mean,
Yeah.
what?
So just for context,
Yeah,
Ian Gary 13-0, Irishman, uh, facing off against Vicente Luque. Uh, Ian Gary's minus 370, Luque plus 280. I'd say Luque is probably his toughest fight to date. Uh, what did we say? He was ranked ninth? Did you say he was?
Luque or Gary?
Yeah.
Um,
Uh, Luque's ranked ninth. Gary's
yeah,
ranked 10th. So yeah, Luque's a veteran. He's a good fighter. He's nothing like too special though. I think I think Gary's probably able to outstrike him and get a decision. That's another play that I would also look at as well. Um, on Bet365 here, they have Gary at minus 350 to win, and then by decision is plus 180. Um, I don't know if 3 round fight. I mean, his last fight, like we were watching, I had Gary by finish, and
yeah.
I don't know what he was like. He was playing around with the guy. He looked like he had the guy's leg like mangled, couldn't finish him. I think Luque is like a super tough guy. I don't see him getting that finish personally.
And I mean, like I saw like a week ago, Gary was saying if he won this fight, he wants Colby next, like win or lose. And I was like, what are you
Colby
on?
would whoop him.
Colby would dominate him, and like
Colby
Luke
would take him down over and over and over.
is like calling for one of the top guys just because just because he's Irish and like kind of talks like McGregor, thinks he's got that Dana White privilege.
Yeah, I mean he is a really talented striker. Like I I could see him moving up a few spots in the rankings. I don't know if he quite cracks like the championship level, there's a lot of good fights. Like we mentioned, Shavkat already. I think he's a guy that watch out for him. I think he's gonna take that belt in his next two fights probably. Yeah,
Usman's done fighting at welterweight.
I think so.
Do you think he's now middle? Like,
I think I think they're gonna do Usman versus Whitaker. Should
are
be
they?
a good fight.
Because
But
I feel like are they looking to go if Strickland beats Duplessis? Is Hamzat kind of the next guy in line? Is what they're is
I
that
would think so. I don't know. The thing is, they got Hamzat ranked at 9, which I feel like is a bit low.
definitely
So
low?
I don't know if do they have to get like
I
does
mean,
he have to, maybe
it,
they redo that fight against Paulo Costa they were gonna do, and
yeah.
then if he wins that, then you give him the title shot.
I feel like if Usman beat Whitaker, though, he should also like be in contention to get a shot against Strick. I feel like he beat Strickland. I feel like Usman would beat Strickland if
Usman?
they fought. I know
Yeah,
Strickland's a little bigger than Usman normally fights at welterweight, like we said, but I still think Usman's really good. Like I think if him and Colby fought again, like he'd probably beat Colby, and I don't know. I'm still a
I'd like
big
to see that again.
yeah.
Honestly, we
If
I don't
do you
know.
think
I think
Colby wins and Usman just like I've already beat you twice, like calls him out, do you think like he'd have to take that? I mean, I don't know. That'd be an
it would
interesting.
be it would be. I'd love to see it again. I could watch that fight over and over.
Like
That's
some of the
honestly that's probably like one of the best rivalries
oh yeah,
in
and
recent
my
UFC history.
and like my time watching UFC, that's probably like one of my favorite kind of rivalries that happened for sure.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, any like other bets you like that we didn't talk about?
I mean, if I mean, I haven't really looked at the odds when they're by decision and by finish, but I like Ian Gary by decision. I think that's actually
Yeah,
I think Luke is tough, like you said. I think that could, and I remember you were watching his last fight, and he just couldn't. What was the name of the guy who's fighting, if you remember?
Neil Magny.
Yeah, he was like he just wouldn't quit. Like, and Gary was just kind of taunting him, and I don't know. I could see that going, and then maybe Patty by submission. I think that's some good value. I know he's won a few fights by submission early, and I think he
Patty by submissions plus 275.
I feel like that's pretty good value too.
Yeah,
But I mean, I wouldn't really touch his minus 300 on the money line. I just
no.
not
I
much value there.
Yeah, personally, I like Patty by decision at plus 190. Um, and then I also mentioned the Gary by decision, Shavkat finish at minus 175. I also think that Leon Edwards Colby Covington fight
The distance.
goes pretty far, like over 3.5. I think
Oh, that's great value. I like
it's
it.
probably not the odds on that probably aren't great, but yeah, over 3.5 is minus 250.
Oh, gee.
Distance minus 180. Well, it's a decent leg on a
Yeah.
parlay.
I thought over 3.5 rounds might be a little more value than mine. What'd you say, minus 250?
Minus 250, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I guess they know like what they're talking about, right? Like they know Colby
Yeah.
and Lee probably will, go further into the fight.
I think an idea too is you parlay who you think is gonna win with an over because I don't really see an early finish on either side. Like both guys
Like I
are tough. Like
can picture a Colby early finish. Like
you can?
I couldn't picture that. Like
No,
I
I
happening.
can't picture a Colby
I
finish at all. Hardly. Maybe like
yeah.
fourth or fifth. Like just with a lot of punches, but
Yeah. I mean, there's a chance. Like Leon's got he's got some really good power. Like there's a chance, but Colby's just got that chin, and just keeps coming at you no matter what. So I think it will go late for sure. So I
yeah.
think that's a good
And
little.
then so did you hear about all the controversy with Ian Gary?
What's I mean,
So so his wife is I think she's 40 and he's 26, and it got dug up that she wrote a book, some book on how to be a wife and a girlfriend or something, and her ex-boyfriend is their chef and lives with them.
oh
So
my,
it's everyone's what the heck's going on here?
I saw like TikToks so like it'd be like Ian Gary and it'd be like a guy like shivering like seeing Colby coming at the press conference and he's gonna call him a cuck and like shit like that. So maybe that's probably what that's from. But that'd
Yeah.
be he better hope Colby don't know about it or he's gonna
Oh, Colby knows about it, I bet. I can't wait because Gary's a welterweight, like also, so there'll be a reason for Colby to run his mouth with them.
oh definitely.
And yeah, like I just think Colby's gonna be roasting people this press conference. He's got history of roasting Leon Edwards, like
Oh,
calling him like Leon Scissorhands and all these different like funny
I'm sure
names. And
host Patty too. Like
I think he's gonna get into it. I think him and Patty are gonna get into it.
I'll be like this is there's actually a good group of characters for a
And
press.
like Tony Ferguson too.
Yeah,
Like he's bound for a couple laughs.
Leon and Colby. That's a pretty good.
Yeah.
So that is pretty good. I'm sure he'll throw a shot at a Shavkat too.
Maybe.
Cum cat or something like he does Tom's that.
Oh.
No, it's gonna be this actually like I'd say this would you say this is better than the John Jones card even though he wasn't on it? Like
Oh yeah, like
update?
top to bottom, like this is five really good fights. So I think this is a really good card. Like if I had to give it, like I'd say it's like a 8.5 out of 10 card.
Yeah, I'd say like 9 out of 10, 8.5. Like it's rare to see like 5 fights on the main card that you're all like you're excited to watch all of them, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Any other thoughts from the card there?
don't just hopefully my boy Colby gets it done. I'd love to I just think like the fights that you can make with Colby are a lot like more interesting than the fights you can make with Leon.
What do you like? What do you think if Colby wins? What do you think's next?
Like, would they give Leon a rematch if he wins by
I
decision?
don't think you could give him a rematch. Like he hasn't even made
Exactly.
I guess he made one
Yeah.
defense. Like I feel like you gotta give, especially they got like Bilal Muhammad, who's a really top contender, who's pretty deserving of a shot. Islam's talked about moving up. That's what I'd want to see.
Islam versus Colby.
Yeah.
I don't like that for Colby. I mean, I don't
Really?
like Islam, but
Like I don't even know if Colby's not even that much bigger than Islam. I don't think like
uh,
Colby is pretty open about the fact that like he barely even cuts weight,
yeah.
and Islam like kills himself to cut weight.
You think they'd do Shavkat? Like, would Shavkat be in the mix? Like,
I think he'd be in the mix
would they
for
go
sure.
Bilal and the winner gets Colby? Maybe.
I think that would be. I think if Islam wants to move up, I would say make that and then have Shavkat face Bilal and get the winner.
I don't think
I think
Bilal
Shavkat would have his way with Bilal.
definitely like no doubt about that
It's
for me.
just there's also some beef with Bilal and Colby too, but just like no one, like everyone makes fun of
Yeah.
Bilal. Like no one gives a fuck about him. He's
Well, everyone's got beef with. Everyone wants to fight Colby if he wins because he's just such a rat. Everyone and the way he talks, so
yeah.
funny. I saw Jorge Masvidal George was talking his mouth about Colby, hoping he gets his face beat in. So funny, man. No, it's gonna be a sick card. Excited for Saturday.
Yeah. Yeah, lots of stars. We'll be sure to tune in.
Oh yeah.
Maybe even give some reactions if there's something crazy that happens. But
Yeah.
yeah, we'll wrap up there, I guess, and be back for another one.
Yeah. Peace.